Yo, this is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, heavyweight champion of the world, and you're watching Real Fans, Real Talk.
Face facts, what up, what up?
Real fans, realtalk.com. Where Arthur Diamonds, Trick Young, and intern Tom. For the white and black fans, Asia to Manhattan. I get all my facts from my bro, Mark the Stats Man. If you're not tuned in, I recommend the CAT scan. And if your brain checks out, then you deserve a backhand. Sports, gossip, all the hot topics.
Hey.
Real fans, realtalk.com got it. They got the hottest bloggers.
Is Jeremy Lin hurt?
Well, log onto the site and you can hear it from them first. I'm talking about the latest.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the greatest.
Yeah.
Go check out the archives. Even tell a neighbor. Tell them Bobby sent ya. From spring to winter, tuning in should be the only thing on your agenda. Certified cosign, you know what I'm about, son. Real fans, realtalk.com. I'm out one. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, realtalk.com. Real fans, realtalk.com. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, realtalk.com. Real fans, realtalk.com.
What's going on? Oh man, it's so good to be back live again. Real Fans, Real Talk. We had a good week, sparked off by another knockout victory by the future of boxing, Brooklyn's own BK Torch, Justin Biggs. So excited about that. We're going to get into that in a minute, though, because there's so much going on. My man Tiger Woods is back, y'all. Tiger Woods, y'all. Well, we got a lot going on. But before we get into all that.
Waiting to say that.
I've been waiting all week. You know, I've been waiting all week, man. He out there right now killing. And we also got a special performance. One of the family members came back to bless us again with some vocals. So it's a whole lot of surprises that's going to go on today. We're going to wait before we get into all that, though. But, Stat, man, what's going on, man?
It's good to be back for another live episode of Real Fans, Real Talk. As you mentioned, BK Torch, Justin Biggs, 3 fights, 3 knockouts, fresh off the W this past weekend, and he's joining us here today. Welcome back to the program, Justin. Great to have you.
Thank you for having me, and good to see all you guys again, man.
Congratulations.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Now, did you use the move that I taught you that when I came that day, that the 1-2 combo?
I was in a lot of trouble, man, and I used the move.
That's all. Listen, man. That's what we're here for. Man. That's what we're here for, man. But no. First of all, shout out to Evander Holyfield. You recently linked up with him now, and they put the fight together at the King's Theater. And we spoke about your training regimen a little before the fight, but I mean, this was another early stoppage for you. So what are we doing with the training, man? You're knocking people out too early.
You know what, man? I'm just putting my all into the workouts. Like, some days I'm up 4:30 in the morning. My aunt's my strength trainer. We're doing that. We're eating properly, getting to sleep, and just taking it serious, man. I'm just taking everyone as if they're like I'm fighting King Kong. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like playing with anybody. You know, doesn't matter what they say. It could be a baby. I'm gonna train seriously and hard. So.
Yeah, you have that a lot in sports. With every sport, you look at even in basketball, you have a great team like the Warriors, and they could lose to a team that's not that great because they're just underestimating them. They're taking it lightly. It happens all the time. But Ladybug is in the starting lineup, by the way, since we didn't give her any shine yet.
No, it
Back by
wasn't
popular
that.
demand.
You see, everybody. I don't expect it. Everybody was happy that I'm off suspension. So I'm here and I'm being consistent because that's the memo now. Everybody's like, oh, Thursday, it's the Thursday hashtag. Is Ladybug suspended? That's the hashtag on Thursday. So I'm here and I'm early. I'm starting. So,
We do have some people that get disappointed. Like, they wait for the rumor mill towards the end of the show. And then we let them know that, Ladybug isn't there. And they watch the whole show and looking for you. And it didn't happen.
We kind of just be selfish like that with the,
It's all right, but that's what that's what they have to see. But now that I'm here, I'm gonna get it together.
Man, we got you.
Got
for
some
the
stuff
whole
going on,
That's a fact. And first of all, the opponent that you fought, he was a MMA fighter as well.
Yeah, he had like 20-something MMA fights, and he took the fight. He had a boxing background in the amateurs, and he wanted to make the transition. So it was a very interesting fight. What a lot of people don't know is that those guys, like, it's all contact sports, and it's very similar, but then again, it's different as well. But, you have to be careful because a lot of times as a boxer, we read certain attacks, like certain punches they may throw, though we don't see a lot of them, so it's hard to read exactly what they're gonna throw. And also, they're able to take a lot of times more punishment than the average fighter. You know, like I scored like 2 knockdowns, one to the body, and anybody else, it'd be over. But he got up, tough guy, man, and then I had to hit him with the second one, and it was just a great fight. It made for a very entertaining fight.
It was very Mayweather McGregor-esque.
Oh, I wouldn't say,
I mean, that's what a lot of people were thinking. I mean, I was thinking it too.
Yeah.
When you figure MMA trying to come into boxing, and it's a different world.
There was a lot of similarities, man. Like, just to the fact of, like, I knew that boxing, sometimes the MMA, great sport, considers all martial artists, But a lot of times, man, there's low periods in MMA where you're able to hold and you're on the ground, and if you're losing,
your breath.
Yeah, catching a breath, and those type of things he was not able to do, and I made sure of that I was just gonna keep bringing them into the deep waters, and the punches just started hurting more and more, and then the body shots, it was something new to him. So
That's what I was gonna say. People always talk about the physical training. It's also a mental. It's like a mental game too, because like you said, like they get that time down where they could catch a breath. But in your mind, you're like, no, I'm not gonna let that happen. No,
yeah,
no,
exactly.
no, no.
Yeah.
So like, what is that meant? Like, what is? I just like want to know how that. What does it feel like at that moment in time? Because everybody talks about the preparation and you're finally in there. But when you're in the midst of really throwing punches and catching these punches, what's running through your head?
Well, Tripp came to see me train, and like I had like about. That day I had like 2 different sparring partners. I was sparring like 12 rounds sometimes with 4 different guys. And my mentality of it was just like, I'm a machine. I don't break down. So as far as you want to take this fight, I'm going to be fresher than you. And if I look into the corner and I see that you're a bit tired, I know I'm not going to get tired. So,
That's just that
eventually.
energy.
So it's kind of light work. Once you actually get into the ring after going through that training regimen, and it's like, oh, I just got to fight one guy? All right, I'm good.
Yeah. And it's crazy because even if like, some of the guys later in sparring, they're big, and then they're I may be small a lot of times, and maybe round 11, around 9 or 10, a guy's fresh, and he's catching me with some shots. It's like it's okay because I know I just sparred all those other people, and I want to come back. And I'm just pushing myself harder and harder every time.
You definitely fought a couple of guys that was not your weight class in the sparring session.
Oh yeah.
So that's what people be clear. It's not you're not just fighting guys in your weight class. You went up with just for the training regimen. So it definitely is paying off. And so right now, what's coming up next? Do you have the next fight already lined up? Or what's going on?
I came out the fight, no cuts, everything was good. So April 21st in King's Theater, I have 2 more fights with them in this year. And it's going to be an amazing show. We're finding someone, tough and durable. And we're going to see if I'm going to keep my knockout streak to 100%, which I think I will.
That should be the goal. Because, there's no discrepancies when you knock them out.
Oh, yeah. And it's more entertaining. Everybody wants to see a big, dramatic ending. And I just want to give it to fans. Because you know what? My thing is this. You can be anywhere on that Saturday night in the world. And I'm glad that people spend it with me.
There you go. And you said you are now was it the best show in New York right now?
I think so. Until the circus comes back around. But right now, yeah.
Which one, Ringling Brothers?
The Ringling Brothers. Give it to those guys.
All right. So as soon as they come back around, you take a break for a second.
Yeah, I might take a little. It'll be a.
All right.
What did you weigh in on your last fight?
You know what? I weighed in 160. I really fight at 154. It's been hard to find guys at that weight. So that fight we fought at 164, that fight. So, I had a little weight on me.
Do you want to fight in different weight classes throughout your career?
Yeah, I feel like I'll become world champion at 54, 60, 68, 70. 75, and then hope maybe even one day heavyweight. I want to do that. That's like a sure way to get into the Hall of Fame. And I always felt that way as a little kid. I was like, yo, I can do it,
And you got to claim it now. I like how you just named all those weight classes.
Yeah, I mean,
one after the next.
I mean, how could anyone forget you that you did that? You did those type of things, and that's what boxing is about.
That's a fact.
I can't recall anyone in the history that went
Well,
up
went
to
that far.
heavyweight and
Oh man.
Up like that, but no, but that's dope. I want to talk to you a little bit because there's two fights, two big fights.
Right.
Well, one of them is already scheduled to happen, even though it's a little situation with some tainted meat.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't, that's what they said. The other one it hasn't actually been made just yet. So we'll talk about the one that has first. Triple G and Canelo claims he ate some tainted meat.
Yes.
Has that ever happened to you? Where I don't know what was going on in his mindset, what he was doing. I don't know if it was like a burrito he ate or a burger or something. I don't know, but
blame it on Chipotle.
yeah, when you hear a fighter use that excuse, do you believe them?
Sometimes, like this is the thing. It depends on what they use, and I did like a little research into what happened. A lot of athletes from Mexico, they're saying, are coming down with the same thing. The thing that what he got caught with, I can't pronounce. I'm not going to try, but it actually helps to burn fat, and it also gives you more stamina. So with that being said, and I don't want to say anything bad about Canelo, but the first fight he did kind of get tired. And then also the biggest thing to me was that like his trainer was a butcher, so it's like you would kind of know what kind of meat to stay away from.
That's what I'm saying, right? So that makes it look a little crazy.
With all, but then again, you never know. It isn't the
They
meat,
are
so
injecting cows and stuff with all these steroids and stuff.
they
like
are.
that.
So I give him a pass, and but if he comes into the second fight just looking like knocks Triple G out,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna be like, yo, I don't know, man.
He's got to go vegan to
Yeah. And it's sad. It's sad because there's a lot of fighters that stuff happens. Like you go to a doctor, you have this injury, and the doctor will give you some type of cream. And I've heard it happen. And they're really clean athletes, but they get a bad break, from a bad doctor, a shady guy that says, oh, just take this stuff. So and it's just for his legacy. Canelo has done great things, man. And I just hate to hear stuff like that.
How does your camp keep away from things like that happening?
My aunt, she does my nutrition and, pretty much everything. I even read it, but I trust her. Yeah. As I get bigger, you have different kind of people and, it could happen. But on the other hand of boxing in these other sports are littered with, cheaters, man. It's a lot of you're fighting for, people are telling you, oh, win this fight here. And the next fight is going to be for $1 million, and a lot of people are going to go.
They have to, they're just going to try to do whatever they can.
Yeah, and you've been taken advantage of by a lot of these promoters. They're not giving you money. You have a manager, a trainer to pay, and these guys are like, I've put my whole life into this. Hey, I'm gonna go do this injection and make a lot of money. So it's very sad. If the sport was more to the point where, oh, you took a loss, okay, cool, but I enjoyed myself, and I will pay to see you again.
Yeah.
And you're not garbage, and you have a lot of people from the inner cities that are getting these contracts, and they're jumping on the first one without reading it, and they get themselves in bad positions where they're not really making any money.
That's one thing Deontay Wilder told us. He had a contract offer that he wasn't feeling it at all. I'm not even gonna say who.
Right.
But he waited, and and it worked out pretty good for him. But who are you taking in the fight though?
I mean, I'm a big Triple G fan. Before this fight here, I'm just gonna go with Canelo Alvarez, just because I think that he's more creative in his attack.
Did you think he won the last one though?
No, I thought that Triple G won the last fight, but with the age, with Triple G kind of slowing down, the politics, I'm gonna go with Canelo Alvarez. I feel like he's gonna go to the body a lot this fight. I think that's something that he should notice. I mean, I watched in the fight, like it was a scene where he threw a body shot and Triple G's face like really squinted, and Canelo's a very good body puncher. I have people that sparred him. They said that he's not that big of a puncher to the head, but his body shots are good, and he's very smart and creative. And I think that he can make the adjustments, and also the meat stuff. So I'm gonna go with him.
The best person I've actually seen in the ring with Triple G, and I still feel like he won the fight, was Danny Jacobs.
Yes,
I think that if Canelo takes the blueprint from what Danny Jacobs did against Triple G, and then kind of mixes it in, I think that he can get this fight.
Yeah, I watched the Danny Jacobs fight like 3 times, and maybe a Brooklyn bias, but at the same time, I'm like, no, he won that fight.
Yeah.
And it's just they wanted that Triple G Canelo fight, so
Super fight.
it's they just gave it to Triple G, and that's a shame.
Same thing with Canelo. He's the favorite. You know, they won. I feel like Triple G won the first fight. You make more money with Canelo wins the fight.
Yeah.
You make more money with him. I'm just gonna go. My
He's younger too. He's a lot younger. So
my
he'll be
heart
able to
is-
carry the sport
yeah.
a lot longer.
My heart is with Triple G. I mean, you know, mentally I feel like he should be able to win this fight, but politically,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Canelo Alvarez. To be honest with you.
Okay. And then heavyweight division now.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is probably the most anticipated fight in a long time.
Yes.
Deontay Wilder versus Joshua,
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Joshua. Who are you taking in this fight and why? If they can actually make it happen.
Okay. If I had to bet my home, I would go with.
Well, don't bet your home.
No, if I had to,
He
someone
said
was
if I
like,
had to bet my
all the
home.
money you have.
Yeah.
And I think about it this way. I'm gonna go with Deontay Wilder
Okay.
because of the power and within that first any round actually.
Yeah.
He has all-time power. And if he hits Anthony with that, I do not feel like Anthony will be able to recover. But then again, you know, now we're dealing with guys. We're not watching a guy that's 6'7", fight a guy who's 6'4", 6'3".
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua is his height, which is going to take away some of that power. Strategically, I'm like, you know what? Anthony Joshua, he's the same height. Deontay's power is not that dramatic. He may be able to take the punch from Deontay. He's big. He's strong. He's physically stronger. He may be able to get inside. And I watched the Ortiz fight, and I'm a big Deontay Wilder fan. But, you know, that punch that caught him, Ortiz was kind of already wearing down a lot. And he hurt him, but it wasn't really, he didn't really have that youth to really put him out.
Yeah.
And I feel like if it was Anthony Joshua would have been able to take him out. But it's a great fight.
Joshua's also righty and Ortiz is a southpaw.
Yes, yes.
So it was a little easier for him to connect with Deontay because he's not really used to fighting southpaws.
Yeah, Anthony has fought the better competition. No doubt. More champions on his record. You know, but in those fights, he did get dropped by Klitschko. If that was Deontay, I felt as if that Deontay would have finished him.
Oh, yeah, it would have been over.
But he got up, though.
So don't bet the house, but if you got, like, say, like a good pair of Jordans, bet the
Yeah,
Jordans.
yeah.
Don't
I mean, I'm
bet-
going with, listen, I'm going with,
He's not gonna bet. He's just saying if he had a gun to
If
his
I
head,
had to,
he
you know,
had
you
a
ask-
gun, like, you know.
it's a toss-up fight. But if I had to bet, I'm going with Deontay Wilder. But something tells me a little bit, man, that height is going to neutralize a lot of Deontay's power. It's going to be a very, very hard fight. If it goes the distance, they're going to give it to Anthony Joshua. You know, no doubt. He's going to make his big American debut, and they're going to give it to him, you know.
Well, if he comes to America, because I don't know if he's trying to come to America. That's one thing. And as a fighter, have you noticed that a lot of the European champions, I noticed that they don't like coming to America to fight.
Yeah, because, you know, in America, we're a little different. You know, we want to be a part of stuff when it's popular. When Anthony Joshua came out at the Olympics, he was selling like 30,000 seats and stuff like that. I mean, you see if Adrian Broner and those guys will do that, you know, here it's a big deal. Now he's doing 100,000 fighting, you know, 80,000 fighting nobodies.
Yeah.
You know, why come to America? You're getting paid in those pounds and they respect you more. And, you know, we're kind of like, okay, well, let's see what he does, you know, 10 more fights.
Yeah.
Who'd he beat? You know, over there, they're diehard fans. The energy there is so different, man. You know.
So would you prefer to go over there to fight?
You mean?
Yeah.
I love America, but I mean, me going over there to fight another European fighter, they're going to be all about him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You'd be the,
Yeah.
you know,
But I would
the
love
enemy.
to. Yeah, I'd be the enemy. But I would love to go over there and experience. Even the crowd just being so into the fight, even they're booing.
Yeah.
I would love to go over there and
I mean, it
experience
could
it.
be a Rocky IV kind of
Yeah.
situation. Rocky had to go fight Drago, you know? And then you can just win over the crowd and you start speaking,
Right.
you know, in Russian afterwards. Or
Right.
how that goes.
You'd be over there climbing the hill in the snow and all
Yeah.
that,
Right.
doing your training, get a little Rocky video set up for you.
We see the movie. You guys.
Listen, man, I'm telling you, listen, the
Over there
combination
punching
of
the
we
tainted
go,
meat and
work, so
everything.
we're gonna have to do another one. We'll probably come back to the gym, start, you know, showing some things, some other moves for the next fight, because we want you to
Okay.
get consecutive knockouts. You know, we want you to go undefeated throughout
Right.
your whole career, get about 6-7 belts in each weight class.
Right.
You know, and then get to the Boxing Hall of Fame by the time you retire. We're just gonna claim it right here, right now.
Right,
on Real
right.
Fans, Real Talk. That's what's gonna go down.
Right.
and we gonna keep
60
working.
and 0 record.
60 and 0,
60
right?
and
Let's
0.
go.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
need all the
even number,
records.
not just barely beat the record.
Yeah,
you know, just,
exactly.
you know.
About 10 fights, yeah.
60 knockouts, too.
60 knockouts.
Yeah,
right.
none of them go past the 7th round.
We just
We just
Yeah.
she is cutting
This is
the.
how we roll. Once you got
I like
the
it.
support of Real Fans Real Talk behind you, anything is possible.
That's right. It all started here.
See, there you go.
What is it like? You mentioned promoters and everything. What is it like with Real Deal and Evander Holyfield?
You know what? Evander Holyfield, man, he is an amazing. You know, I met Evander. I fought in the Golden Gloves. You know, I came on here the first time. I had a silver medal in it. And I came back the next year. I won. You know, I beat one of the top fighters in the world. It was a good fight. And at that moment, Evander was picking up his fighters. I didn't even know he had a promotional company. He called me. I met him, you know, at the fights. And, you know, he was like, oh, you know, this and that. And later on, they said they were interested in signing me. I sparred for them, some of their fighters they had. I did well. And he was like, yo, like, you see me fight? I was like, yo, I want that kid. I ended up signing with them. They're just wonderful people, man. You know, you hear a lot of bad stories about boxing, you know, but with them, man, it feels right. It feels like a family. They feel like they care. They're like, hey, listen, you got some money, you know, let me teach you how to invest your money and do certain things. They're just all on the up and up, man. And Evander is very informative. Like, a lot of times you meet people that have done a lot in life and they don't really want to share. Like, he really sits there, like, after your fights, you come eat, he shares with you. And he comes in the locker room and says, listen, guys, boys, we got to do this, we got to do that. And he's very honest, you know? Like, even in his losses, he's like, yo, people said I didn't work hard when I fought Riddick Bowe. He said, but Riddick Bowe was just better than man that night. And then hearing that, I was like, whoa, you know? He tells stories about Mike Tyson, you know?
Now,
His
everybody
eyes
gotta
lit
know.
up. Did you
Okay.
just see the
What
sparkle in
did
his
you speak
eyes?
about Tyson, Holyfield, the whole situation?
Yeah.
Okay, what did Holyfield say about it?
You know what? A lot of people think that Mike and Holyfield just met during that occasion, that fight, and that they knew each other since they were like young, and they were in the Olympic training center together. He tells stories about Mike. The other guys in the weight classes were giving Mike a hard way to go. Mike wanted to fight them. And he said, yo, Evander, we need to go ahead and take care of these guys. And Evander was like, nah, man, I don't want to get, you know, kicked out of the training center. And, you know, and basically, man, like, one day he was watching Mike fight, and my trainer was with him, and he was like, yo, I'm going to fight that guy one day. And, you know, and Mike had the same kind of feelings about him, was like, you know, only person that ever worked as hard as him was Evander Holyfield. So they always knew. And sometimes you just know a guy that you're going to end up running into, and that's going to be like your defining fight.
So they had the mutual respect though for each other.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man.
Great documentary, Tyson Holyfield and 30 for 30. They went over all that. Did he ever, you know, voice his opinion about the Olympics and how he kind of got robbed over there? Or?
You know what, man? I never heard him mention that. And you know what?
I'll bring it up to him when he's on
Yeah.
Real Fans Real Talk.
You know, I want to ask him. I'll tell him he has to come up here. You know, I think that he's just so past that.
Yeah.
It was-
Yeah,
you
a long
know?
time. I mean, if it comes up and he's asked,
Yeah.
he'll talk about it, but it's not something that's on his mind, you know.
Other things he talks about more, man, but he's like so past that, and he knows what it was, you know, and he just like he made it to such higher levels, you know. But that is something I need to ask him about. Actually,
Did you ever? We'll wait for him to come here and we'll ask him.
Yeah,
about-
yeah.
Did you ever think about fighting in the Olympics before, instead of going pro, or?
Yeah, that's one of the things I actually tried to do, and you know, fought in the qualifiers. I fought this kid from Jersey. We were in Philly. I beat him, man. Like one of my most definite wins. You know, sometimes you're a little worried after about the announcement. I'm like, oh, I'm just killing this guy. Like I was beating him so easy. His corner was just like, come on, are you gonna fight this guy, man? Come on, tell him, you know. And at the end, you know, they were like, oh, he won, and like 70 dudes just started like, oh. And I never heard them cheering the whole fight. You know, usually when somebody's beating you up, you hear their crowd cheering, you know, having a good time. And man, I was just devastated, and I just, you know, I came all the way out there.
They were cheering for happy or
They were
booing?
happy that he had won,
Oh,
but they
wow.
were just all were like, oh, yo, you know. But he had definitely lost, you know, and it bothered me, man, because I thought I was gonna, you know, make the Olympics and, you know, do it that way. But everything happens for a reason.
because now you get to start your career, go 60-0, 60
Yeah, yeah.
knockouts.
Yeah.
You know, so it worked out in your favor.
Right,
and
right.
I think you definitely chose the right path. And you're going to be fighting a lot this year, so we're going to continue to come out and support you.
Thank you.
At the fights.
Yes,
It was
yes.
a deep ride to the King's Theater, but we're going to continue to come out and support you. Just you know, that's what we do, man. Real fans, real talk. It's always going to be there pushing you, especially it's a Brooklyn thing, so we got to
Right.
represent for the borough. But we do have a whole lot more to get to on this show, and we got a special performance that's going to be going down in just a minute. I'm gonna just let the cat out the bag now. Tatiana Owens is back with us. She's been waiting patiently, and she got some new stuff that we gonna get into, but we just want to hear her sing first, because the last time she came, she kind of set the tone, and everybody in the front and the back was like, "Who is this girl?" I said, "Yeah, y'all better recognize who Real Fans Real Talk is bringing out to y'all, man, because we got some hitters with us." But we gonna go to this really quick to this Cortez video. We're not gonna do that. We're just gonna show y'all really quick. If you're following us on social media, y'all can check us out on the web, realfansrealtalk.com, and once you guys are through watching the website, then we're going to come back with it. We're going to have a special performance. But make sure you guys are following us on all of our social media, facebook.com/realfansrealtalk, Instagram and Twitter @realfantalk. And make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/For the Fans Productions. Y'all got to subscribe to the channel, because sometimes we give y'all little special tidbits that y'all don't just get on the show. Y'all know last week on March 9th, we dropped the second part of the Gene Deal interview, and that was straight exclusively to the YouTube channel. So make sure you guys are subscribed to our YouTube channel, because that's also where you get the vlogs from myself, from Statman, from Ladybug, and Eric. We also got a whole bunch of new blogs on the website right now as well. So if you haven't already, make sure you guys are on the website reading those blogs. I mean, reading is fundamental anyway, so you should be reading, you know. but we got a whole lot left, and I think we ready to go. Are we ready?
Yeah, we ready.
All right, man. Listen. I'm gonna just let you take it away now, because you sound like you ready to go.
Killing me with emotion, filling me with a notion that it will work itself out one day. But you work it like dominoes, the wrong move will unfold. Everything you said would be okay. Look who you've been kicking it with lately. No wonder you can't have any fun. Moving ahead with or without you, baby. 'Cause I know time doesn't wait for anyone. When you're feeling down, seeing shadows all around, hold your head up high, find a happy cloud in the sky. Nothing can compare to the feeling in the air when you're sitting high on a happy cloud in the sky. Who doesn't love feeling free? The only ones that can see the beauty of a positive mind. Then they go and wonder why they're the only ones that can fly. Simple thoughts can change your whole life. Look who you've been kicking it with lately. No wonder you can't have any fun. Oh no. Moving ahead with or without you, baby. 'Cause I know time doesn't wait for anyone. When you're feeling down, seeing shadows all around, hold your head up high, find a happy feeling. And honey, come with me. We'll party at the same time. We're healing. Oh, we're healing. Oh, when you're feeling down, seeing shadows all around, hold your head up high, find a happy cloud in the sky. Nothing can compare to the feeling in the air when you're sitting high. Happy cloud in the sky when you're feeling down, seeing shadows all around. Hold your head up high, find the happy cloud in the sky. Nothing can compare to the feeling in the air when you're sitting high on the happy cloud in the sky.
Yeah, Uncle Ralph, you already know what it is. You know what you're doing. Video Music Box, I'm here. Real fans, real talk, and that's the way it's going down. Don't go nowhere. Fix your face. They ain't going nowhere. Ha! RealTalk.com, where Arthur Diamonds, Trick Young, and intern Tom for the white and black fans. Asia to Manhattan, I get all my facts from my bro Mark the Stats Man. If you're not tuned in, I recommend the CAT scan.
What's going on, everyone? This is Legend of Two Games, repping for Real Fans, Real Talk. I had to come check my people over there at Sound View Liquors, man. You should do the same. Passion Tequila is the flavor of the month. Come through, drop the Real Fans, Real Talk name, and get a discount on it, man. Make sure you're tuning in every Thursday night. When you come through, tell them Legend of Two Games sent you.
It's RealTalk.com, where Arthur Diamonds, Trick.
All right, we are back. Real fans, real talk. Another great performance from Tatiana Owens.
Thank you.
And, you know, BK Torch came on the show, and then, you know, next thing you know, he's going to be seven different weight class champion, 60 wins, greatest of all time. And you come on the show and you're doing big things. Next thing you know, you're going to be platinum recording artist. And,
Amen.
And all that.
7
You know,
Grammys over here.
Amen.
The luck of real fans, real talk.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
You just you had a record released in Europe.
Yes.
Recently.
Yes. It's called I Can Do Anything. It was released with Matt V and Matt V Emerson. Shout out to him. He's a dope DJ, dope producer. He just had released the EP. And my song was one of the songs that was featured on the EP along with several other great artists too. But yeah, so I had that overseas and I just got a lot coming up. Like I have a show in 2 weeks in the Detroit area. It's a disco tribute to like the disco era, and I'll be headlining that concert. And I have my song that song Happy Cloud will be released March 30th.
Okay, it's coming up.
So you got a lot going. And I gotta say, because every time you perform, that second time, we gonna have to do this again because the whole mood, everything just change up when you start singing. When you start playing guitar, looking around, I'm looking in the back. Everybody is it's a groove that you put us in, a nice little groove.
That's really good to hear. I try to. I love performing. I've been performing since I was a kid, and it's like one of the things that just comes like naturally to me, and I really feel it and I get into it, and I hope others can be inspired by my music and be on a happy cloud too.
Do you like being on stage or in the booth?
I actually like being on the stage more. I love to write, and I do a lot of music, music and television and film and stuff like that. So I love to do that, but I definitely love being on the stage is where I shine.
So
you get to connect with the audience.
Yes, it definitely.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like, what was the inspiration behind Happy Cloud? Like, because now hearing that you like to perform, that's just a crowd.
Yes,
that's a crowd
yes.
song. So what was
That song
putting that
actually
together?
was inspired by, like, I had to, just some time like away from writing constantly, and sometimes people get into like a negative vibe and they feel like like they can't go past a certain point. And the inspiration behind that song was basically saying, like, when you feel like everything around you is falling apart, you always have something to be grateful for, whether it's looking up to the sky and just finding a happy cloud. And that's what that song was about.
Always good to hear positive music
Definitely.
out there too. So that's definitely a good thing. And you also have a TV. You're gonna be, your song. One of your songs is gonna be on a upcoming TV show.
Yeah, it's called American Woman. Alicia Silverstone from Clueless. Yeah, and so
Batgirl and
yeah.
one of the Batman.
Oh yeah, one of the Batman movies. And so she's gonna be on she's the lead of that show. And my song Trigger, it was released a couple of years ago on my last EP, Colorful, and that song is gonna be on that show.
So how did that work then? They heard the song, or they
well,
were looking for-
I have great management. I have a great management team. Shout out to TC Music. Ow. They do like a lot of my music placements and stuff. So like I've had success on Love and Hip Hop and Ray Donovan on Showtime and things like that. And that song Trigger was actually on Ray Donovan, and so
I
it's
watched
like,
Ray Donovan too.
Yeah. So it was on one of the episodes. It was on the ending credits, and my song was just playing. But that song has pretty much been like successful with a lot of people, and people like it, and it fits well with certain scenes in film and TV and stuff. So that's kind of where one thing leads to another.
Well, that's definitely big, getting those TV placements.
Definitely.
Tell you one thing, people that when you work in TV, the TV checks be moving and grooving a lot better than just the music stuff. So that's always a beautiful thing. So what's up with the album? What are we doing with the album?
So I'm definitely working. Like I said, I'm releasing a single March 30th. I'm definitely working on a project. Like I've built so many songs since Happy Cloud, when I really got into making music again. And I have a lot of stuff, just like a collection of music that I'm ready to release. But Happy Cloud definitely is the first single. I don't have a date as to when we're releasing a full project, but I really feel that song. A lot of other people was like vibing to it too. So we felt like that was the one to push forward first, and then we'll see. I have new stuff on SoundCloud as well, and I just got a website that's up now, so you can visit www.tatianaowens.com.
That's awesome. Is Happy Cloud's gonna have a visual?
I hope so.
Because I'm my head is going. I'm feeling. I was like, oh, there's videos.
Maybe you can help me out with that.
We'll talk about it.
I definitely, I feel it. I feel, like the positivity that surrounds that song. It's so uplifting, and I know people tend to get more into music when they see the visuals behind it. Yeah,
that's me. I think I'm a visual person. But it's like I feel the song because you just feel the words.
Yes.
But then you always see it put into some concept, and you're just like, oh, yes, that's beautiful.
Yes,
That's
I'm
what
definitely
I
down for a video.
And it's getting warm, so the clouds is really gonna.
Yeah, because one
it's
thing,
gonna work.
with the performances, you get the energy.
Yeah.
But with the visuals, you get the story of who Tatiana Owens is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's what we'll be looking for as well. So maybe we might have to,
We have to link up.
Yeah, we might have to do something. Real Fans Real Talk, we got our hands in a little bit of everything. So we might have to do that. And this is family. And I've actually, because you guys, at home, you don't know, but I've actually known of Tatiana's music for some time now. So I've been listening to her stuff for years, and I know how dope she was. But now I'm glad that she's getting more placements on television. You're doing more performing,
yes.
and the music is coming out because you have a lot of great music.
Thank you.
Did you write Happy Cloud yourself?
I did. I wrote it with the producer I love to work with. His name is Yuri. He goes by YZ. He's here in Brooklyn. And I don't know, I just was inspired to write that song. So I pretty much write all of my stuff that I release. So
where do you get your inspiration? Like, where did you come up with Happy Cloud?
just like past, actually, that ad that they have in the subway on the train? It's like the clouds, and you have to, it says find a cloud or find something. Yeah. I was on the subway towards my session, and I didn't know what I was gonna write about, and I was just like, happy cloud in the sky.
Boom, that's how it happens.
And then that's how it happened, and then everything else just kind of fell from there. So
I'm sure you have an interesting story for each
For
of your
everything,
songs.
exactly, everything. Yeah, but that was probably the starting point of that. So thank you, MTA, for your
The one good thing you do.
yes, the one good thing for your
inspire good music.
yeah, for your beautiful inspiration.
Exactly, but don't be trying to get another copyright on
No,
that
exactly,
MTA.
no
No,
royalties.
no.
That's it.
No, it
Just
didn't
get it
say.
That's why she didn't mention the company's name with
No,
the
no,
cloud too. 'Cause
right.
we don't
No,
know.
it didn't say happy cloud in the sky.
Yeah.
It just was like a cloud, and then
Find your cloud, whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
But no, that's definitely dope, and it's actually dope that you write most of your stuff yourself.
Oh,
because,
definitely.
you know,
That's important because a lot of artists get taken advantage of, you know, when they're not writing their own material and then they just give what's written to them and then they have no parts. Like they have no say, they have no real royalties, you know, that follow. So
Plus, you
writing
don't
for-
have as much passion in a song if somebody else wrote it. You know,
exactly,
like you have.
exactly. That's another thing. You feel, you know, what you write, and sometimes, like I've written for other artists as well, and they'll tell me their story, and I'll interpret it for them because they feel like they can't do it themselves. But if you know, I end up interpreting it for them, they have like, you know, some type of part in it, and they feel it as well. So I just try to do the best I can at writing.
So if you had to choose one, like, say I'm going to do what they did, like with boxing, I'm going to turn it this way. If you had to choose one between writing and performing, one, like you had to really...
For the rest of my life.
Yeah, like it's either put the pen down and just perform.
It would have to be
Or just-
performing.
Right?
It definitely would have to be performing. I mean, because that's really what I knew what I wanted to do for the rest of my life when I got on the stage. Like, it wasn't me, you know, like just... I could sing when I was really, really young, and people were like, oh, she's a little girl with a big voice. And I just was like, okay, whatever. Like, I wasn't really, you know, happy about singing, but it was like when I got on stage for my first musical theater experience, and I was like dancing and singing and just like in the spotlight, and I was like, I want to do
This
this.
is it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
no,
So,
that's really
in the
good.
same way, you know, like I was telling you guys earlier, I had showed, you know, Justin that the combo boom. I did the octaves, and we was working on that with the ooh, ooh. So that right
Trip
there.
just trying to take credit for
That's
everything.
right, that's
That
right there.
is the
How
only
good
time I heard him do any
you know,
type of scales
I don't like to,
ever.
yeah, I don't like to showcase
in the
you know,
amount
my
of time I
vocals
knew
like
him.
that.
I'm just putting that
But
on
sometimes
record.
I get hyped up when you know when I hear a song, you know, that make me get to that level. I had to showcase some of my skills sometimes.
All right now.
You know, so I was thinking, you know, I'm thinking maybe, you know, might do a mixtape or something. Maybe, you know, we can do something, you know. But that's, you know, I'm working on it. I'm still, it's you know, it's a lot going on right now. So we see maybe you
Check
know,
out the new Trip EP coming in
But
April.
let's not entertain this, guys. Let's not.
But that's how we roll, man. Oh my goodness.
But you see, me and Tatiana matching. I'm sorry. You just see this
The
on the
red
camera?
lip.
The red lips.
We look like we sisters.
Yeah, like we did. This was not planned, guys.
No,
by
it
the
wasn't,
way.
but I
Y'all
was
wanted to sit
telling
by each
her.
other on the set too.
And
I almost wore the same shirt. I
It wouldn't really been. See, I would have had to be backstage. Like they would have thought I was.
Background
Hey,
singer.
No, look, y'all can both be
It's over.
You can be in the video then.
I can be the stunt double, okay? You got any stunts? Like, you just gonna be singing. I'm gonna really move. You know, it work like that. We're gonna make it work.
Yes.
Alright, so we we definitely gonna get it in with that. Oh, really quick, guys, I want to tell you guys again because you guys know the charity tour does not stop. We have Ballin' for Peace coming up again. It's April 21st. And if you guys, I know you guys tuned in last week, but if you didn't know, Real Fans Real Talk is going to be sponsoring the first ever slam dunk contest at Ballin' for Peace. So it's going to go down during halftime at the celebrity basketball game.
I will be the judge,
First
guys.
ever. We're all going to be out there judging with Haran. So definitely come out, guys. You know it's for a good cause. Haran is always doing work in the community and with our youth, so we want to make sure we continue to support him as Ballin' for Peace continues to grow. It's going to be at Elm Core Recreation Center, which is in Queens again. They did great last year, so why not keep it at the same spot this year? But if you guys, you know, want to get those tickets for Ballin' for Peace, you can just at either H2O on Instagram at H205 or at Ballin' for Peace. And if you guys want to actually be a part of the dunk contest, this is what you have to do. You have to send your Instagram videos in just a minute. We don't need your whole life story, but just your best couple of dunks in the Instagram clip. And when you post the video online, at Bowling for Peace and at Real Fan Talk. And we're going to select the best 4 dunkers. And from there, you guys will get to compete at Bowling for Peace. And the winner gets the cash and the prizes. We got a whole bunch of prizes. Yes, Cliff, you can be in it. Okay, yes.
Me and Cliff will have the Nerf side kitty
You
dunks.
cannot do that. You're a judge. That's conflict of interest.
That is kind of
We
true.
can't
Man.
do
You
that.
can't be in it and
This is
judge.
why I'm going to be the
Clown
only
stuff, that's
legit
all.
judge. They're accepting bribes and all that.
Wait a
They
minute,
do it too much.
When did
I will be the legit judge of this slam dunk contest. So just, be legit, send your videos properly, and I'm just going to be the judge.
That's her way of saying that
That's
she
it.
wants bribes too.
No, it's
game
not.
is in it, then are you going to be legit then?
No, it's not. Because you know what happens? They don't send me bribes. They jump in the DM. It's you guys get more bribes. I get the innuendo.
I'm gonna leave that
no,
one
it doesn't
alone.
work like that.
I'm not even going to.
No, but I'm going to be the legit judge. That's fine.
So moving on to the sports, we have a couple of injuries out there in the NBA trip.
Oh, yeah, we got 2 really big injuries, actually. Jimmy Butler, Minnesota Timberwolves, he is down for pretty much the remainder of the season. He should be back in time for the playoffs. And Klay Thompson is also out right now. He's with a fractured thumb. So he's going to be out for 2 weeks, and then they're going to reevaluate him after that. But that doesn't bode well for Golden State because Steph Curry is also out right now dealing with some ankle injuries. And Draymond Green is dealing with some back issues as well. So he's kind of been bouncing in and out of the lineups. So
It's going to make it harder to get that first seed from Houston. So
yeah, the West is definitely looking really, really interesting. So we're going to keep you guys posted with all of that.
I'm going to take some fan mail questions. Jeremy from Queens writes, is Russell Westbrook the best point guard in basketball right now? I know, Trip, on your vlog on the Real Fans Real Talk website, you put him ahead of Steph Curry.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to agree as far as, averaging a triple-double for the season last year. Possibly he could do it again this year and be the first ever to do it back-to-back. Has 100 triple-doubles for his career. So by the time his career is finished, he'll surpass Magic and Oscar Robertson. So I'm going to...
They showed a meme where he had more triple-doubles than MJ, Kobe, Garnett, and like 2 other people combined.
I mean, they didn't really get those triple doubles up there in their career. So, but another fan mail question. Benny from New Haven wrote in: which quarterback do you guys think will take their new team the farthest this season? Case Keenum with the Broncos or Kirk Cousins with the Vikings? I wrote a blog before last week, where should Kirk go to work, and those were the top 2 destinations. I think the Vikings, which he ended up going with, is the team that's going to do better this season. The Broncos lost Aqib Talib in free agency. It's still a good defense, but I think the Vikings now have the better defense out of the 2 and the better receiving core, too. The Vikings with Thielen and Diggs. So.
Well, first of all, shout out to the whole Connecticut, because they show us a lot of love in Connecticut. As far as who I think is going to take the team further, I don't see either one of those teams going to the Super Bowl this season. I don't think those 2 quarterbacks would like to put them over the top. But I do like the Vikings a bit better than the Broncos because, like you said, they lost a couple of key players. Aqib Talib is big on that defense. So I would go with the Vikings. They have the better offensive weapons. With Diggs, he's had an amazing season. Thielen. So I would probably say Minnesota, but it's gonna be a rough.
Minnesota went to the NFC Championship with their 3rd-string Case Keenum. All 3 quarterbacks.
But he actually had a better season last year.
It's also partly because of the team that he's on. Sam Bradford wasn't playing good at all. All of a sudden, he's good on the Vikings.
Yeah.
Like, everyone on the Vikings was playing good. They have a better offensive line than the teams that they played for in the past. Bradford, I'm referring to. The better defense, so you really just need to be a game manager. So, Kirk Cousins is definitely, in my opinion, an upgrade because of what he was able to do with the Redskins with a far less talented team. I mean, as far as the stats that he put up and everything. So, do you think he's an upgrade from Case Keenum and Bradford and company?
I mean, he hasn't won a playoff game yet, but I do like Kirk Cousins, and I know that it's not just him; it's it's the team as a whole. I mean, I would say it's a little bit of an improvement, but I just don't think he's going to take the Vikings any further than what they went last season. And on top of that, when you take into account that every last part of his contract is guaranteed with 3 years and $84 million, is unheard of in football, period. So is he worth that? A straight $84 million?
Yeah,
Even if they cut him, they got to pay him all of that money?
He's not a top 5 quarterback. If he's in the top 10, then he's closer to the 10 than he is the 6. So, but it's still an upgrade from the quarterbacks that they had before. And Case Keenum goes to the Broncos. Bradford went to Arizona, and Bridgewater will be playing for the Jets. So they all 3 quarterbacks that were on the Vikings last year and have new teams this year. But I think it's an upgrade. But I'm going to agree with you that they're not going any further, because in the NFC Championship game, they're going to play the Giants, and the Giants are going to go back to the Super Bowl. Because the Giants are making some moves. They pick up cornerback Teddy Williams. Offensive line, they're making moves. I
just hope they can get Saquon Barkley and the Browns don't take him.
And they took Jonathan Stewart, which I'm thinking is going to be the backup behind Barkley, because hopefully he's still available and the Browns don't take him with the number 1 pick, and then they have a good running game. But 3 new offensive linemen that they picked up, they finally are addressing that issue. They're adding pieces to the defense, so the Giants, hopefully they don't get massacred with injuries like they did last year.
Did they pick up Jonathan Stewart?
I just mentioned that, Cliff. Thank you for paying attention.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
My bad.
Clearly,
but
he's an
Jonathan
Eagles fan.
Stewart is a veteran, and he's going to be a backup.
He blamed it on you being an Eagles fan. You see how that works?
They move a little slow sometimes. That's why.
Steelers fan, so.
Oh, see.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
She gonna get you after we go off the air.
I didn't want to put, but I am sorry to hear that. I mean, you know your team.
Yeah.
So I'm just sorry to hear that. Yeah.
I know my team.
Yeah, you guys better hope you pay Le'Veon Bell his money so that he stays with you guys and gives you any type of a chance at
It's
anything.
all about the Benjamins.
Listen, you got to get it. You guys know I'm a big advocate of players and athletes in general getting their money, because these owners will throw you away when they feel like you're not of any value to them without any second thought about it. So you get all the money. That's why I'm not mad at Cousins. I wouldn't have paid him $85 million all guaranteed, but I support him for getting that check. But these teams will throw you out once they done with you. So you got to get what you can while you can. Get as much as you feel you are worth. And Le'Veon Bell is the best running back in football. He should get paid like he is the best running back in football. Will the Steelers do it? I don't know. They got to worry about Mike Tomlin still trying to trip players on the field. So, but that's your coach. But I don't want to put that out there like that. But that did happen though. That was they got the footage. He tried to trip my man Jacoby Ellsbury. So I'm just saying, y'all known for that, but it's all good.
Ladybug, you have anything on the rumor mill, or you want to start off the final thought?
Well, no, real quick, because, we got Justin in the building real quick. I want to ask and just get opinions. Mayweather was out and about. He don't like to be in front of the camera. He likes to be, he likes to be modest. So,
Mayweather?
Tabloids, let me get to it. Let me see how I build it up. You guys see how I work this out. So tabloids media catch up with him. They're like, hey, what you up to? What are you doing lately? There was rumors of him really trying to train and be an MMA fighter now. Now he's really adamant. He's telling people that, what, I'm doing it. This is for real. I'm not playing no games. It's money team. We going into MMA. I'm doing this. What's your opinion?
And is his first fight going to be Conor McGregor?
I don't know. However his promotional team works,
Mayweather is not going to disrespect himself by getting into MMA.
But how would you feel? What's your thoughts of him going into MMA, and how do you think that would play out?
I mean, when I watch Conor fight, I saw that like his punching power is nowhere near what it was in mixed martial arts. So to put Floyd in those smaller gloves and for him to be really, really accurate, he may do well. Now
Against the best though in MMA?
No. They were talking about giving him. They were talking about giving him a four fight deal, and who's to say what Floyd trains in doing anyway?
Yeah.
And then he turns around and he this Conor is a stand up guy, really, and he just really breaks submissions, and that's what he does. He's not really he doesn't win by submission or have a great ground game. So to say that a boxer can go there, do that with a person his size, that doesn't have the greatest hands and get about like 4 or 5 fights. I mean, we saw how good Conor transitioned.
Yeah.
You know what? When Floyd doesn't get tired, he does 10-minute rounds in the gym.
Yeah.
Maybe. You know?
Just start from the bottom, Floyd.
It's going to be hand selected with the type of fighters that
he already has a promotional. He has all that other aspects worked out too. So
you have to remember, this is also a sport that like the mixed martial arts fighters would get better.
Yeah.
Because if you watch old boxing, those fighters were not as didn't move the way that we move today. They were tougher men because they were not taken at 8 years old and put inside of a sport. These are guys coming from what's her name, the Ronda Rousey.
Yeah,
she was a wrestler, judo, and she came to the sport and dominated. And there's punches that were added to the sport, and
till she met Holly Holm and
but Holly Holmes is also a 10-time world champion.
Yeah, I know.
Holly Holmes is not. No one really starts out doing mixed martial arts.
She was a boxer first.
Yes, in the next 5 to 15 years, we'll see a whole new influx of even better fighters that are just pure. They do all the things that are needed in there. So to say that Floyd is a boxing champion and come to MMA, fight guys to size, pick them off from the outside, learn how to break submissions and stuff, and then make $1 billion and do 4 fights and fight maybe Conor McGregor at a weight where Conor can't blow up to 170 pounds and beat him.
Yeah,
could happen. The only thing to me is the age, but it can very well happen.
There's the age. I think it kind of ruins his legacy a little bit, but unfortunately we are out of time. It is great to have you back, Justin Biggs. Can't wait for you to be
great to be
60-0 with 60
knockouts.
Again.
All right.
7 different weight classes.
Yes.
Make sure you bring all your belts over here when that happens. Right. Tatiana Owens, congrats on the success and the continued Real Fans, Real Talk. Good luck, charm to the platinum albums that you'll be putting out.
When you get the first, the Grammy, well, you're going to get 2 in the same year. So not the first one, but when you go for the second one, just shout Real Fans, Real Talk out.
Got you.
There you go.
Appreciate that.
For Ladybug and Trip Young, I'm Mark the Statman Skevich. Thank you all for joining us, and have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Face facts, what up?
RealFansRealTalk.com. Where Arthur Diamonds, Trip Young, and intern Tom. For the white and black fans, Asia to Manhattan. I get all my facts from my bro Mark the Stats Man. If you're not tuned in, I recommend the CAT scan. And if your brain checks out, then you deserve a backhand. Sports, gossip, all the hot topics. RealFansRealTalk.com got it. They got the hottest bloggers.
Is Jeremy Lin hurt?
Well, log onto the site and you can hear it from them first. I'm talking about the latest. I'm talking about the greatest. Go check out the archives. Even tell a neighbor. Tell them Bobby sent ya. From spring to winter, tuning in should be the only thing on your agenda. Certified cosign, you know what I'm about, son. RealFansRealTalk.com. I'm out one. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, real talk. RealFansRealTalk.com. RealFansRealTalk.com. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, real talk. RealFansRealTalk.com. RealFansRealTalk.com.